There's barbells in these here waters. The No Fake Channel? Checking in. Jonathan here with another Home Gym Weekend Review, where I bring all of us home gym introverts, sycophants, and misfit toys together in order to recap what's been happening in the home gym multiverse. And of course, the Cold War between Rep Fitness and Titan Fitness continues to rage on, and everywhere you look, far and wide, new barbells are being dropped, and we gotta talk about it. Titan Fitness Equipment, the company we love to beat up on. We love to say that they are just asleep at the wheel. And in fact, in 2023, they haven't released much as we roll through the halfway point of this year. But this week, they must have seen the bat signal I was sending out, because they dropped a brand new product without any hint, without any fanfare. They did the same exact tactic with their open trap bar earlier in the year. And now their brand new Moby Dick limited edition power bar, and right off the top, the price point, what we like to see, $250 delivered before coupons, before any sales. And this is going to be a white Cerakote bar that is going to have gold titanium sleeve coatings, 29 millimeter shaft diameter, 220,000 PSI, a weight capacity of 2,000 pounds. I don't even know if you can get 2,000 pounds on the bar unless you were using weighted out plates that are super, super thin and ultra heavy, but I guess that's what it is. The bushings are going to be bronze bushings, and this is going to have a center knurl mark here. And from the looks of it, at least at first glance, I mean, it looks fantastic. It looks beautiful. It looks like a thing of beauty, and I don't know if this is going to be Titan doing Titan, that when it comes in, it's not going to hold up to our expectations. I mean, this thing looks fantastic. Boom. So this is the picture of the end cap. Again, really nice. I like the naming. I like the whole, the theme behind it. Two major concerns, at least in the literature on the webpage that they have. They list medium mountain knurl texture. So I don't know if that's a medium knurling before the Cerakote goes on, or they consider it a medium knurling after the Cerakote. As we know, when you have a Cerakote finish, it ends up basically pacifying whatever existing knurling is there. So I don't know if they started off with aggressive, put that Cerakote finish off, and ended up with medium. It's going to be tough to know until you get it in hand. I will say another thing that is a concern and holds true for a lot of Cerakote finishes is that it states here the white Cerakote surface, initially pristine and unblemished, will gradually accumulate the marks of arduous journey, narrating the tales of your relentless dedication and unyielding determination. That means they are CYA, covering their backside, knowing that this Cerakote finish, however great that they put it on, is eventually, or very quickly, depending on the quality, going to rub itself off. And I'm not sure how it's going to hold up over time if they're actually putting that in the literature. Now, I don't just talk the talk, I walk the walk. And I promise when you use my affiliate links that money goes into future purchases and future reviews. When I saw this thing, I said to myself, it's a powerlifting bar. I'm 100% unqualified to review this. So of course I hit the buy it now button. Now I did have a 10% off coupon that I've been saving that they'd emailed me in one of my random accounts on Titan because I hadn't bought anything for them for a while. Now this did go out of stock very quickly within a few hours of its release. But if you did want to pick this up, don't fret, don't fuss. They usually, based on their MO, in another week or two's time, will add in additional stock. Yeah, the only concern, and it's small, is if Titan ends up being Titan. We get a $250 bar, and if you get a 10% coupon like I do, the price is even lower. But are they going to end up doing a little bit of a bait and switch? As an example, these gold titanium sleeves look fantastic. I mean, they look amazing, right? But we've seen sleeves like these before in the Fringe Sport Midas bars, if memory serves. And a lot of reviewers who got those bars found that the spin on those bars was horrible out of the box, only because they were filled with rust once they removed the sleeves. I won't know if the Moby Dick bar is worthy of these huge hands until it actually comes in and we do a review. They say all is fair in love and war and maybe business too. For those who don't know, Titan and Rep Fitness, they've been kind of going back and forth with a little bit of a cold war for the past few years. And within 2 hours of Titan Fitness dropping this Moby Dick bar, Rep Fitness dropped a teaser reel. They dropped this almost as soon as Titan dropped their bar, and they threw in a red bar. We all have known that Titan is going to be unleashing a whole slew of bars this year, but none of the ones that they've showcased at the Arnold or at Home Gym Con were red. As soon as I hit that record button on these weekly reviews, that is the perfect time that some home gym company decides to just drop a brand new release or teaser, and I gotta roll the train back up the tracks. Rep Fitness Equipment releases overview videos of 2 of the 4 bars that they plan to release this year, and honestly, the one that probably got the most attention at the Home Gym Con as well as the Arnold was the double black diamond power bar. A few standouts is that they did discuss Cerakote finishes and, more importantly, how that affects the knurling. And they still claim it's going to be an aggressive knurling. They go into detail about the knurling. They also talk about the Duracoat sleeves, which is nice, at least from my perspective, because it's not a coating, but it's actually a process that's going to leave a finish on the actual sleeves, and it should add for more durability as well as corrosion resistance. Now, the Colorado mixed use bar, at least in principle, looks like a fantastic barbell for someone who is looking for that everyday driver, something that can handle deadlifts, benching, Olympic lifts, CrossFit, whatever you want to throw at it. The one question they didn't touch upon in the videos was cost, and that may be because at the time they made the videos, they didn't know what the final cost was going to be, but it also might be because there's so many different options on some of these bars, they didn't want to get into the weeds of what the different cost structure was going to be. Well, we didn't have to wait long to figure it out because the day later, they dropped them all on their website. A lot of these are not actually being able to be ordered at the moment. I want to highlight a few of them. The Hades deadlift bar comes in at $369. That's coming soon. The Helios squat bar, $399. Now, another barbell that they dropped on their website, but you cannot actually buy it yet, is the Alpine weightlifting bar. And this is really meant for, I believe, those of you doing CrossFit, Olympic lifting, going to be doing some overhead squats, all that fantastic stuff. Coming in at $399 for the hard chrome shaft and sleeves, as well as the black chrome shaft and sleeves. But they got stainless on stainless for $469. And while no one really likes the price of stainless steel, man, oh man, people do love the feel of stainless steel. Now, the 2 that you can purchase as of right now, the Colorado bar, which these are all for pre-order, mind you, but they do look to be shipping very soon if you look at a calendar. The Colorado mixed use bar, as we mentioned, comes in at $319. If you want Cerakote, you're going to look at $329. Now, most of you have been using my affiliate links, which are in the description of today's video. And as promised, the proceeds from those links go right back into future videos. So I've already put an order in for double black diamond power bar and the Colorado bar. Double black diamond power bar, $329 for a Cerakote finish and the color of your choice. If you did want a stainless sleeve shaft, you can get that for $399. But if you wanted to go stainless on stainless, it's $449. And we'll talk about some of these prices in a bit, but just look at some of these fantastic photos. I'm telling you, they do a great job with their stuff lately. It's just beyond quality with regards to some of the attention to detail that they've been putting into their new releases. Cost. This is something that is always in debate when it comes to home gym equipment. Now, Rep Fitness Equipment, in my opinion, has never been the lowest cost provider of equipment. They're just not trying to play that game, and I think that's a game that no one ultimately wins over time. They also try to avoid being the high cost provider of home gym equipment, and they try to kind of come in around that middle sweet spot where they deliver good value for what you pay. And they did something a couple years back that I'm sure took a lot of effort on their part, but they added free shipping. And that does make for a much smoother checkout process, and it's a lot easier to compare apples to apples when you don't have to calculate shipping at the end, which is always a nuisance. Now, I know shipping is never free. It's put into the cost of the equipment, but as a consumer, it's just easier to kind of get that price up front. I want to quickly compare the double black diamond power bar cost to some of the competition. And yes, this is not an apples to apples comparison, and I recognize that a lot of these bars have different intricacies that will greatly separate them and affect the price point. Rogue Fitness Hybrid Power Bar coming in over the double black diamond at $395, and of course you have to pay shipping, which to Massachusetts is like $25 to $35. Rogue Fitness Ohio Power Bar stainless steel. Now this comes in at $415 plus shipping. This is above the double black diamond power bar, and keep in mind, if you want your sleeves to be stainless steel as well, that is going to be again above what Rep Fitness is charging. Now, speaking of other power bars, we've got the Hansu 20 kg power bar coming in at $300 with free shipping. But again, this does not have the finishes that the double black diamond is going to be offering. And we have the Texas brand new power bar, the 29 millimeter. Boom, $370, which again does not come with free shipping. So when you look at these and on paper compared to Rep Fitness, you can see that Rep Fitness's prices are very competitive. Now, sticking with Rep Fitness, clearly they have been leading the charge in 2023, and you would think halfway through the year that they would just slow down and start releasing some of the stuff that they've hinted at. But they haven't. They have gone ahead with even more hints and teases. Ryan from Rep, the owner, operator, and the dude who designs a whole bunch of their stuff, dropped this teaser photo of a wall-mounted Athena, supposedly coming soon. And if you take a close look, if you do some Sherlock Holmes analyzation, you will see that this thing is going to save you a boatload of space. You're going to easily save 4 inches, if not more, off of a 4-post power rack, and you can do everything in this thing. You got your Athena functional trainer, both the selectorized version you can see on the left side, and they actually, if you look closely, you can see the plate-loaded version on the right side. I got to give Rep Fitness a clap, because many companies would just hunker down behind their goats, their great equipment that is well received and kind of flies off the shelf, and just put all the improvements into them, the PR4000, the PR5000 as an example. But Rep Fitness has shown time and time again this year, and of course even now, that they haven't given up on a lot of their other equipment that doesn't get as much hype or doesn't get as much marketing. They're continuing to add improvements. We see here with their wall-mounted system, they're going to be giving the Athena an option for that. They also have added safeties as well as J-cups for some of their other power racks. It is fantastic to see, and I wish other companies would do the same. We have had a number of fantastic home gym videos come out in the last week and a half, and I want to highlight just a few. First and foremost, from my channel, the one I'm probably the most proud of is this Blackwing. This thing is a tight 9 minutes and 35 seconds. I mean, it moves really quickly. I'm really happy on how the editing came out, and it's got 800 views, and I think I've only watched it myself 799 times. Gluck's gym, he's done probably the best home gym tour. Gluck goes down to Rhode Island, checks in to Basement Brandon's home gym, brings Winnie because he's very, very shy, and they give him the business. What I really liked about this gym tour is the fact that it wasn't just a powder puff tour. They really kind of hammered Brandon on a few things that he may not have actually ever reviewed. Probably the strangest thing that has to do with this review is that yours truly never got the call. I checked my phone to make sure it was working, to make sure that service was still available. But unfortunately, even though I'm neighbors practically to Brandon and Gluck, they just forgot maybe. I'm sure it was an oversight. No big deal. They'll get me next time. But yeah, this was a fantastic tour. And if you want to see what $1 million home gym looks like, boom, you got to check this one out. Now, one video that came out that isn't really that special, but it's worth noting, is Ronnie Coleman is actually selling his home gym. Reason being, he is moving and doesn't want to pay to have all this massive amount of weight and equipment moved to his new home. But it does beg the question, what would you do if you had to move? Now, a lot of people, one of the reasons they don't get tons and tons of equipment is because they know that they are renting or that they are eventually going to move, whether it's for work, for school, for whatever. So they don't want to build up a ton of home gym equipment only to have to sell it or even transport it. I don't think I would sell my home gym equipment. If I had to move from this location, I would absolutely downsize, so any duplicate pieces of equipment or stuff that I found around that I hadn't used in the past year or two would definitely see itself to the door, and it would be a massive nuisance and a lot of extra work on my part, but I don't see myself selling it because eventually I would just end up buying it back again. Now, speaking of new home gym equipment, Brian Shaw gets new gym equipment. If you're not familiar, this dude's a mountain of a man, one of the world's strongest men, and clearly you just want to look at him and you just know that he could lift a whole house. So he ends up getting new equipment for his home gym. I'm going to cut to the chase because it's an 8-minute video and there's really not much going on except B-roll of him removed.
If you enjoyed today's voyage, then check out this other home gym video. And if you made it this far in the video, you and I are like Captain Ahab and Moby Dick. We're like Arnold Schwarzenegger and Netflix documentaries. We are best friends, shake and bake. Thanks for making it all the way to the end, and as usual, don't save anything for the trip back.